And welcome in, everybody. We are live on location a week later, right? A week later, boys. I'm your host, Tony J. Socatello, joined by Dan Old School Green, Nick Tosti, Nikki Nuts.
Yeah,
We're here
buddy.
at beautiful Bucs County for our first ever live show right here at Steam Pub on location. This is a 1 week in the making, man. We were so disappointed last week we were able to do it live on the internet, but now we're live here on location. You can't see in front of us, but we got people, we got prizes, we got giveaways. It is wonderful, man. It's great. Sound good? Yo, guys, how we sounding? Look at Nikki Nuts, as always. We got our man Adam here, who will not be commenting because we comment live.
Yes,
right here. We got Pittsburgh John Coker in the audience as well, and we got Mr. Old School Crisco in the building as well, man.
Not as loud as his son for some reason.
Not what's up?
Not as loud as his son.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
I'm the youngest of four. I'm the youngest of four. I had to talk loud to get my point across.
You had to talk loud to get your point across.
Exactly.
Well, I'm like normally a loud individual, so when people are like, "Well, we might not be able to hear you," I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna freaking hear me. Trust me." And we're gonna hear Nikki Nuts as well. But listen, before we even go, we just Thanks to Steam Pub for having us in their hospitality here in Bucs County. As always, come visit us Tuesday nights, the home of Heat Ratio Sports, 7 to 8:30 every single Tuesday night. Talking sports, giving stuff away. And listen, here's the special announcement. If you need a job and you're unemployed and you want to work at this great establishment, they are hiring right now, especially for cooks. So if you can whip up a good meal, yo, man, this is where you want to go. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it from you, but I got to test it first. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't trust anybody. It is COVID, fellas. Just saying. But, listen, before we start, rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Oh, my God,
man.
yeah.
Right? I mean,
Tanner, man.
I don't want to sound cliche because everybody's doing it, but TGIF was where it was at.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Without a doubt.
So here's a on-the-spot trivia question. What was the TGIF lineup on Friday nights?
Wow. That's a good one.
Think about that because I know it because I lived it. I watched
Family
it.
Matters. Family Matters.
Family Matters. What's that, Nick?
I go back to Happy Days and Laverne
Wow.
Shirley.
See, that's going way back.
Yeah.
That's going way back.
We were 10 years before.
Yeah, you guys just aged yourselves.
We'll just sit back. Yeah, we were Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days.
Yo, nobody remembers Falky? No Love for Perfect Strangers?
Yes, Perfect
Yes,
Strangers.
I remember
awesome.
that.
How about the Hogan family?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And hanging with Mr. Cooper eventually?
I love Cooper.
And just the 10 of us at one
Just the
time?
10 of us.
Vaguely remember that.
See?
Wow, you're going.
Yo,
Bring
cuz
it back.
I am a walking encyclopedia.
I feel like I'm 12 again, baby. I love it.
But just imagine if that was now with COVID, right? I mean, we would always have something to watch.
Yeah.
It would be
Absolutely.
fantastic, man. It would be great. But speaking of something to watch, man, we got to talk about the Eagles game.
Yes.
We got to talk about the Eagles game because it's official, right? The Eagles will face off against Tom Brady against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again in the postseason. Going by paper, man, we want to know how you think this matches up. Can the Birds do it again? A lot of different intriguing storylines within this, right? We talked about Levante David. We talked about Devin White, Vita Vea in the middle. And the reason why we talk about that triangle is because of our running game. We rely on our running game, right? So because we rely on that running game, are we able to, number one, run the ball against that team? Number two, it's an 8.5-point spread. Dan, Old School Green, are we going to be able to keep up with Tom Terrific and these Buccaneers?
Not if we start the game the way we've been starting the past month. You cannot have a slow start, go down 10-0 like you did to the Giants, to the Washington Football Club, and expect to survive against the Buccaneers. Before you blink, it'll be 14, 17, 21-0 if they start off with the pattern of play they've been starting off at. Now, if they establish the run, and even if they're down 7-0, they cannot abandon it thinking they have to get into a high-scoring affair and do a throw-for-throw kind of thing, because Jalen Hurts cannot handle it. They have to stick with the run. If they're within 14 points, stick with the run. Don't abandon it. My gut tells me it's going to be a struggle. I mean, you said 8.5.
8.5.
I mean, gun to my head, I would take the Bucs, but I'm rooting, obviously, my pants off for the Birds, but they didn't instill confidence the way they've been playing. Now they've been beating up on bad teams and bad quarterbacks. Tom Brady. I mean, if Taylor Heineke was the scariest quarterback you played the past 5 weeks, and you kind of struggled at times in all the games, you better right the ship. And that's where our defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, he's the most important person in this game.
He is.
He's got to script something.
He is. And I'm not sold.
Yeah. No,
I'm not sold. Mr. Tossi, I'm a very big optimist in this game because any given Sunday this year in the NFL, we have watched Jacksonville beat the Bills. We watched Washington beat the Bucs, right? We've watched some unimaginable things. So my question to you is, do you have that energy right now? Are you worried? Are you skeptical? Do you think they can do it, man?
Any given Sunday is it, Tone. And at the end of the day, offensively, I have all the belief in the world that they're going to be able to put a game plan together to sustain drives, to do, run 3 yards in a cloud of dust, to move the chains, to maintain possession, and to keep the ground game going. And I don't have any doubts that that's going to happen. But I'm with you, Dan, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, the Jonathan Gannon is going to be the make or break component that decides which way this game goes. If you remain passive like he has over basically the course of this season and rely on a 4-man pass rush to get to Tom Brady, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to work. You're going to get smoked. I mean, you're going to talk about 15, 20, 25-yard passes in chunks that are just going to eat us alive. I mean, if Jonathan Gannon can somehow, and this is when you talk about hope, it's hope because it hasn't happened yet. He hasn't been aggressive all year. In spurts, maybe, but so now you are relying on hope on the defensive side of the ball. And you got to hope that Jonathan Gannon, a guy has not been aggressive all year long, somehow is able to blitz. And against Tom Brady, not only blitz, but disguise the blitz to the point where you're going to be able to be effective. So that's where my concern is. At the end of the day, everybody knows it. That's what it's come down to. On the defensive side of the ball, are we going to be aggressive enough and smart enough to put a game plan together to stop Tom Brady and this high potent Tampa Bay offense? If they do, I have no doubts on the offensive side of the ball, and they can put a W in. They can win this game.
I agree, man. I agree. I'm skeptical, but I know my man Nicky Nuts is this. He's down there. He's down there just waiting. He's waiting to talk here, man. So Nicky Nuts, Eagles, Bucs. Come on, bro. What we got?
We once beat him, and we can beat him again, baby. Tom Brady has a problem with Philadelphia. We own him.
600 yards.
Own him. And we are coming with the fire. I don't believe we're going to have a hangover. I think we're definitely going to put at least going to make Tom Brady beat us with his legs. We're going to make him move. I think they are going to blitz a lot.
What?
Why? Because they haven't done it all year. This is the playoffs, and they come and they do what they got to do to win a playoff game. So I know, but if you look at the Eagles' history, if you look at the Eagles' history all year, they've always been ahead of the curve. We started running, and we started winning. We run, and we can win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, Tony, if I can interject something.
Speaking to that mic, you old school. Let's go, brother. Let's go.
Sorry, I'm like eating the mic.
Come on, man. Let's go.
So if Jonathan, getting back to Jonathan Gannon, if you don't study that Saints film, you're insane. Now, listen, we don't have Mashar. Our Lattimore is Slay.
Yeah.
Lattimore shut down Evans.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Demario Davis, who helps with Gronk, and
got TJ Edwards.
Cam Jordan.
He's a stud.
All over the place. We need somebody.
He's a stud.
To step up. Barnett's got to all of a sudden, do something. Cox has got to step up. Cox has got to get large.
Long Cox.
And step up his game. Because Nick Tosti is right. I mean, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you blitz Brady, you're in trouble. And if you don't get pressure on him, you're in trouble. But they have to have someone on that line cause pressure. And Nicky Nuts is correct. If you got to make Brady uncomfortable in the pocket, and you have to control Gronk, and you have to control Mike Evans.
Well, I want to see Tom Brady run. Like, what's this thing? Is this their new invention of Jay Schrader or Mark Rippon? I mean, I want to see him run. So before I got a lot of comments coming in. My man Foods checking in. What up, Tony Fellas? Eagles. Foods, again, congratulations on the new partnership, Broad Street South, with Philly Sports Trips. That's amazing. As well, our boy Javon checking in. He says, at first, I didn't think the Eagles could cover, but with the Bucs wide receiver core depleted and the Eagles being able to run with Howard back, it could happen. That's a great point. Right? That's a great point. A depleted receiving core and the Eagles being able to run. And that's what I'm saying. I think that the Levante David, Devin White, and Vita Vea triangle is what's going to win or lose this game. Because if we cannot run the ball and we need Jalen Hurts to beat them with their arm, it's not going to happen. We need to be able to run the ball. 100%. That needs to happen. Our boy Glock checking in. Let's go, boys. Glock, you'll be here next time, buddy. You'll be here next time. We got what Javon again says. I would also like to see Fletcher Cox on the edge with Milt Williams in the middle in certain packages. No. Josh Sweat needs and will be key. Now, here's the thing. I think he's right about that because I watched a couple times when they put Fletcher Cox on the edge and they put Milt Williams in the middle, and it worked.
Yeah.
It disguised a little bit, gave him a different feature, and I think it worked.
I think it's all dependent upon which Derek Barnett you're going to get to.
If you don't step up,
100%. You are 100%, Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Josh Sweat's going to step up.
Well, yeah, the two ends have got to step up. I mean, Sweat ultimately should. I mean, he's been the more consistent of the two ends all season long. But I have a confidence level in the secondary, Tone. I do.
I do too.
I think, having Slay, and I'm a big Nelson proponent. I've been talking about that all year. I think they should re-sign him. He never really makes any big plays, but he doesn't make any noise either. He doesn't get you hurt. And, the emergence of Maddox has been really just incredible.
Remember, we brought that up, man. We brought that up a couple weeks ago.
He's played very well this year.
And Harris and McLeod have been solid, at the safety position. So, if there's a time where you can trust your defensive back to put them in a situation when you're blitzing and to rely on them in one-on-one coverage, this is the time to do it, man. I mean, if you're going to take those kinds of chances, this is it, man. Go down swinging in this game. Do not be passive and don't let him pick you apart.
And that's the
question.
question.
Back on a four-man rush.
Right, and that's the question. Is he going to be passive? What's up, Nick?
I got a problem. We were 13 minutes in, and we still haven't did an Eagles chant. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
That's our boy, Nick, as always.
Let's go, baby!
Yeah.
Enjoy
our
your
boy
food,
Al
everyone.
checking in. What's up, guys? We're in the house. He says, let's go. Al will be here next time. Al, we will get him here, right? Listen, I just want to, again, understand that sometimes, with this pandemic that we're in, we always can't be together all the time, but we're going to be together as much as possible. 100%. So, Al, as always, Half Court Heat will be back. Keeping it up on Twitter. Utah Half Court Heat. Al, I think Al sleeps on Twitter.
Yes,
man.
He does.
He's like tagging every reporter in Philadelphia, and he's going back. They even bringing up tweets from 3 years ago. People are grabbing them, man. I love it. Dave. So our man Glock checking says Gannon is definitely the key. Eagles are 31st in NFL in sacks and allowed the highest completion percentage in the NFL. Need to be creative and mix things up. Right. And it just alludes to what we're saying, right, old school?
That is correct. I mean, you got to get the pass rush, and you can't let Brady complete 80% of the passes.
No, that can't. He's going to pick you apart.
Yeah, so
he's going to pick you apart.
We have to play a perfect game. That's the bottom line.
Yes. I don't know if that's possible, but Joe Judge, Maximus thinks Joe Judge, who just got fired today, thinks Gannon is doing a great job, which is awesome. Our man, Mr. Crisco, sitting right over here, and he's even Facebook messaging.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Leslie checking in. Hey, great job, guys. I like the new format at the bar.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So we got to get you here, Leslie. So you can get at the bar, right?
Southampton, PA, Leslie. Southampton, PA.
Hold on, my man Vinny checking in. Vinny, what is up, my man? Remember the name Gerard Avery. A gap blitz could get Brady off his spot. Fournette being hobbled is a big deal, too.
Amen.
That's a great point.
Absolutely.
You know, Leonard Fournette, this is crazy. I was just on a gambler today doing a fantasy hit, and we were going over a fantasy review, and me and Sean Brady. So we're talking about it, and he was like, the top 5 backs. You know, Leonard Fournette was number 6. Leonard Fournette was number 6.
Having a great year, Tom.
My man, John Coker knows Leonard Fournette was number 6. John, did you have Fournette this year?
What's that?
Did you have Fournette on your team this year?
I did not.
But you played him in DFS, didn't you?
Absolutely.
He's not a dumb man.
No.
He's not a dumb man.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nah.
And
Not at
Fournette's
all.
coming back from the hamstring, so
And hobble. Like Vinny says, he's
yeah,
hobble.
yeah.
He's definitely hobble. But yeah, listen, I don't want to go predictions right now, right? We don't want to go to predictions. We'll get into that a little later. People walk by, we'll get what they think, who's going to win, what's the score, things of that nature. But we got 3 trivia questions, and we're segmenting this show. And I want to get into the trivia because this is where my man, Mr. Old School Green here, his mind.
Who do you have
works,
winning
man.
the Eagles game?
Eagles, God.
No, see?
Yeah.
Say-
Stop flirting, Mr. Nuts.
Yeah,
She's got a tattoo right on her wrist.
Oh, see that?
She has the score of the Philadelphia versus the Patriots, baby.
See, she's got
She
it.
has the
See,
tattoo,
she's a true
baby.
fan, man. She's a true fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! I love it. Let's go.
So, let's get to the first trivia question before we get carried away here. I had Nicky Nuts to relax over there a little bit.
Not happening.
Before we lose them, okay? Before we lose them. Okay, so we're going to go, again, this is our first trivia question tonight, brought to you by Prime Roofing of Southampton, PA. Not only do they rescue your roof, but they get it done right, and that's very important. Visit them today at www.primeroofingpa.com. I'll tell you what, everybody knows Bernie's the man. Say what you want. The guy, honest guy, give you what you need, help you out. Listen, I'm not going to say because he's a sponsor, but did my roof before he was even a sponsor, and went through the insurance company for me. And listen, I got to pay for it, and not because he's dishonest, because he said, yo, you have homeowners, right? Yeah, well, let's try that first. Let's see what we can do and let them know. And it all worked out. So shout out to Bernie for that. So the first trivia question of the night, and I like this. We're going to go Phillies with this, right? We're going to go name the last 3 Philly MVP winners for the Philadelphia Phillies. And for a bonus, give us the year too. So I want that to bleed in a little bit. Okay. And again, no Googling. No Googling. It's too easy. No Googling.
Phones down, everyone.
Yeah, phones down. It's no Google. And Dan is going to announce the answer because Dan has the answer.
I have.
So Dan will announce the answers and we will announce the winner. But think about that. Name the last 3 Phillies MVP winners, and for a bonus, give us the year too. See your Philadelphia Phillies knowledge. Again, brought to you by Prime Roofing. So let's get back to the comments again. So my man Mark checking in. What's up, John? You can only hope to contain Nicky. Yeah, listen, man. We can't hold him back.
No.
We sat him at the end purposely.
Yep.
Purposely. He was going to grab everybody. Let's get out back in real fast. As a huge key to the game is if Tampa loads up to stop the run, can Hurts handle it and still make things happen? And that's the biggest thing, right? That is the biggest thing. That's what we talked about. And listen, I'm all in with Jalen. I said this before. I'll say it again. Everybody gets everybody's dogging Jalen, right? Give the kid a chance, man. Everything that this kid's been through, everything, the adversity, he's a leader of the locker room, right? I'm going to bring this up again because I can't say it enough. Go back and look at Josh Allen's first 2 years. Go back and look at Lamar Jackson's first 2 years. Go look at their completion percentage, under 60%. Now, anybody talking about get rid of him, get him out, get this kid another shot. And he's on a rookie deal. Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything next year. Build the friggin' defense, man.
Yes.
Build the defense and go from there. So let's move on.
I still want a wide receiver.
Listen, I want a wide receiver.
That maniac N'Kobe Dean playing last night. Looked like he just want to go out there and kill people. How good would he looking at?
He's not falling.
I'll tell you what, he was lighting people up.
He's so good.
He was lighting people up.
I'll follow the Steelers. Look at them somehow.
No, well, speaking of the Steelers.
All right, let's speak of the Steelers.
Speaking of the Steelers, Mr. Coker's going to like this one. So with the uncertain word of Ben Roethlisberger retiring in the offseason, does he deserve to be put up on a pedestal with some of the other greats like Elway, Young, and Manning? And I ask this because it is a legitimate question. He is a shell of himself right now. John knows that. But, John,
2 years.
Come over here. Get over behind Nick, right? Come on. Get in that microphone. You got to get on here and let us know. You got.
If there's one segment, this is the
Johnny
segment
Pittsburgh.
for me.
Yes. Let's go, man. They like John, Pittsburgh. Mr. Roethlisberger. Okay? What are we thinking, man? Does he deserve all the accolades?
No question. I'm sorry. Look, I don't have all the stats in front of me, so if I misspeak, no, I can't read those stats without my.
He got the run.
cheaters
Dan's
anyway.
giving him the run sheet.
No, look, what's he have? 6 Pro Bowls, 2 Lombardi trophies. Think about how many he might. I think he won the AFC North 9 times, AFC Championship game like probably 5 times, 3 Super Bowl appearances.
And clutch too.
He's up there, right? And that's exactly where I'm going. Fourth quarter comebacks, I think he's 3rd behind Breeze and Brady. Game-winning drives, I believe he is number 1 in the NFL in game-winning drives.
What's his key?
He led the league in passing, I believe, 2 years. This guy was electric. You think you had him? I'm talking in his prime, not the past 5-6 years.
Santonio Holmes.
Oh,
Was there a more clutch touchdown pass
me,
ever in history? No.
For
Unreal.
me, the 2 best plays in NFL history is Kirkland running at 99 yards and Holmes catching
Levon. Big Levon.
all one game. So, point
That
is,
was
you
funny.
put
I
all
remember
those stats up. You see where his name is with all the, with all these other guys. You think about what he did, and to me, yes, he is no question, no doubt up there as a top 10 all-time quarterback.
I like it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I like it. I don't think. Listen, I don't think you're biased, man, because you are a Pittsburgh guy. I honestly agree. I mean,
Spelled it out.
It's what happens a lot of times. We forget, right? We get involved in a luster of other quarterbacks, and then we forget what Ben really was.
Yeah.
Right? We forget that.
Dude, he has the most vicious pump fake in the world.
Yo.
How does anybody not bite on that? That is the most vicious pump fake I've ever seen any quarterback in history.
So when
I
you
mean,
talk about
it's
getting
awesome.
more involved, more involved in talking about other quarterbacks, Tom Brady just needs to stop being out of the conversation. He's just not. He's not on the bar.
and
Like he's
everybody
just so
else.
far
Yeah.
beyond the bar that and this is a great point because you're measuring up against people he should be measured up against.
Right.
The conversations against Brady are done right now. There's just no.
Oh,
the
yeah.
bar. The bar is so
It's already
high
there.
that you've got this other group of guys in that 1A tier. And in my opinion, 100% Roethlisberger belongs there. I mean, 100%.
I agree.
We talk about,
I do.
he's got all the numbers. He was clutch. He's got the Super Bowls. He's got the MVPs. And he's what is it? How long? 18 years. 18 years, man. My oldest son is 26 years old. I still have a little Roethlisberger jersey in his closet. He's moved out. It's a little youth size medium. That's
The little
and
Roethlisberger
he's
jersey.
26 years old right now. It's still sitting in my closet. That's how long he's been around. I mean,
Well,
the guy's just iconic, man.
He
There's no way
is.
you can deny it.
Well, the one thing I want to bring up, and John, you can speak to this. With Ben, there's like multiple tiers. We just stated you have Brady, and then it's like the Marino, Elway, Montana, and then the Roethlisberger conversation, that group of guys. But the interesting with Roethlisberger is he's also always going to be compared to Eli and Phillip Rivers because Eli
Good
was
point.
1, Rivers was 6, Ben went 12, I believe. And I was pulling up some stats. The day Eli retired, Eli was 117 and 117.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Rivers
500
Got some
Eli.
Giants
Rivers
fans
was
watching.
2 rings.
123 and 101. Ben was 144, 71, and 1. Statistics. Eli threw for 57,000 yards, Rivers for 59,000 and change, and Ben at the time was 56 and change. Ben currently stands at 64% completion percentage, 64,000 and change yards, 418 to 11. That's a just under 2-to-1 interception, touchdown interception ratio. Phillip Rivers, you can argue statistically, talent-wise, Rivers could be the best of the 3. But because of the rings, I go, Ben is the best of the 3.
Wow.
Eli has the 2 rings, but he just never struck fear in my
agree.
heart. Now, a big game against Ben, he made me nervous. Phillip Rivers, you've discussed countless times, Tone, what a genius he was behind center.
Yeah.
So
Old man Rivers, baby.
it's funny how
Good man behind center in many different ways, too. How many kids does he have?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. No
that's-
kidding.
yeah, that's a different
No
position we're
kidding.
talking
I'm just,
about. But yeah,
just throwing it out there,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think he's got like 12.
But the bottom line is
He doesn't have 12, but I mean,
I'm
he's
just
got a
saying.
lot of
my
kids.
My
kids at
man's-
school are watching the show. Now,
My man's doing well.
but
That's all I gotta say.
The bottom line is,
He's a Christian man.
in addition to the quarterbacks of all time, it's just interesting how he will never be separated from his draft class as well.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he's the best of that draft class. Just my opinion.
No, listen, I like it. Number one, because we got to make a little adjustments here because I'm already being told that Nicky Nuts is hanging off. So we already moved Dan down. So you guys moved down just a little bit towards me. There you go. Because I'm smelling some wing. There's Nick. Look, now we got him. You don't need to be shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. No, Nick's ready to do the Our Father over there. But no, at the end of the day, I'm smelling wings. I'm just saying, I'm smelling wings.
good, Nick.
Absolutely.
They smell really good.
Straight ahead, I smell wings.
And
yeah.
I don't want to hear about a wing shortage because at the end of the day, here's the deal. At the end of the day, if you like something, you're going to get it. So that means you got to bring your ass down here to Steam Pub in Bucs County. And one secret thing about Steam Pub is they have this real-time draft list. Okay, where you know every time online socially when a new beer is tapped.
That's amazing,
right?
Like that's like beyond my. I can't.
Who
even
else does that?
comprehend that.
Who
It's
else does
awesome.
that?
No,
right?
I've never heard of it.
Who else took railroad tracks from outside
Yep.
and made them the bottom of the bar?
Oh, I love it.
Right?
It's
It's got to be unique. It's got to be. It's got to be unique. Just like how many people name Jigsaw? How many people name Nicky Nuts? Not
Right.
many, right? So that's what we do here, right? We're
Nicky
unique
Nuts.
in one way. But listen, I mean, here's the thing: when you look back at the NFL as a historical lesson, and the amount of quarterbacks that we witnessed, because we talked about this the other day. I forget who it was, but I was saying I was blessed to be able to watch a lot of people in their prime
Best era.
from the NBA.
Unbelievable.
Right? So when I talked about Iverson and MJ, and whether you like them or not, LeBron, Kobe, these guys we were able to witness in our prime, right? But now we're talking about quarterbacks as well. Quarterbacks in their prime. So, Dan, let me ask you something. You brought up about Philip Rivers. You brought up about Eli Manning. Any other quarterbacks that you would say that kind of overrated a little bit based on numbers?
Yes.
Who talk to me?
Listen, and I might get
Come on,
help for
throw it
this.
out there.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
I can't stand Brett Favre. Listen, Brett Favre. Eli threw almost. He was barely over 1% ratio with his touchdown interceptions. Brett Favre
Talking to the mic, Dan. Let's go. Talking to the mic.
I'm eating the mic. Brett Favre was an interception machine. I gauge sports. Like, for example, certain hitters come up in the baseball game. They scare the crap out of me. You just feel like they're going to hit a home run. They're going to rope a double. Dave Parker used to scare me when I was a kid.
Dave Parker.
Yeah, Manny Ramirez when he was at the plate.
Wow.
You just never thought you could get him out, right? Brett Favre did not scare me in a football game. I was just waiting for us to pick him off. So Nick brought it up last week that the Rodgers, is he the best quarterback in this franchise? Hell yeah, he's so much better than Brett Favre. Now Brett Favre, listen, I give him all the credit in the world. He's a tough SOB. Never missed a game. He played hurt. He played, I think the day after his father passed away.
Yeah.
He had a cannon for an arm, but
Fourth all-time passing yard.
yeah, well, because he definitely played a long time and he threw the ball a lot. He was in the system, but he
overrated.
He was a pickoff machine. Well, you asked me a question.
I'm shocked.
I don't think he's in the class of. I mean, statistically, he's got great numbers, of course, but Elway's a better quarterback. Marino's a better quarterback. And I wonder what John thinks about Roethlisberger being a better quarterback than Favre.
Hey, Dan. Every time you turn, you go away from the mic.
All right, I'll stare at the camera and I'll eat the mic.
No, listen. If you're staying in front, you're good. No,
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you. Yeah. Listen, nobody's checked in with the trivia question yet. People got one or two, but nobody's getting three. Okay, so even if you're out there, you're not Googling. Okay, it's okay. Check it again. We're talking about the Phillies, right?
Can we give a hint, Tone?
Name the last three Phillies MVP winners. For a bonus, give us the year two. And again, this is sponsored by Prime Roofing. You're going to get some Prime Roofing swag.
Yeah,
okay, you're going to get some Prime Roofing. You're going to get a hat. You're going to get a shirt. Look, Nikki. Oh, look at that. Nikki sampling it up.
Styling and profile.
Right? And every week, man, you need some gear. We're here for you. What's it, like 12 degrees out?
Yeah.
So who doesn't need a long sleeve shirt?
It's
from
warm
Prime
in here,
Roofing,
though,
right?
buddy.
Absolutely,
Warm in
it
here.
is warm in
Hot in
here.
here.
It smells good in here too.
Oh, it smells
Smells
delicious.
very, very
Oh
good
my
here.
God, I'm ready for wings.
100%.
Like you said, as soon as you said wings, I'm like, yeah, I can go for wings.
Nikki's like, I'm in for wings. I like it. All right, so let's move on a little bit, okay? Because we got to talk all Philly here, right? And we got to talk about the Sixers. And again, the Sixers are winning, but solely missed the services of another player, which will rename nameless for the show because I hate him and I can't stand him. Do you know?
Possible trade.
Right? Do you
trade.
think Morey will be able to pull off another trade? Celtics get now. Word is now Tobias is available, right?
Well, yeah.
Let me just tell you something.
Sure, he's available.
I don't want any metal midgets in this town anymore. Say what you want. I don't care. We are nationally televised for a reason. Everybody knows how we are. They know we're going to boo you if you suck. We know we're going to cheer you if you're great. I was down there at season tickets. I watched them teach Ben how to try to make a free throw.
Right.
Give him that, hey, Ben, look, we're cheering for you. And it still wasn't enough. Tobias never got but one time. And then that little squirmy worm, Danny Green, that bull-legged bastard. Okay?
Not this Danny Green.
Sorry.
Not this Danny Green.
I'm sorry, but that dude really bothers me because all of a sudden now, I get it. He's got rings. Okay, good job, Dan. It's fine. All right, whatever. But the last time I checked, you had 0 points the other night, 20 minutes.
Yep.
Okay? And you were shooting air balls off the side of the backboard. So my thing is, guys.
As Embiid is busting his ass.
Embiid,
to
listen to this. Nicky Nuts. See if you agree with this. So somebody said to me that Joel Embiid not only is playing like the best part in the NBA right now, but he's the most dominant force since Shaquille O'Neal.
Without a doubt.
So here's what I want to add to that, though. He is a guy that's a he's basically like not one comparison, right? He's got a double vision. And what I mean by that is it's Tim Duncan for me.
Yes.
And Shaquille O'Neal.
And
so think about that.
And Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
Absolutely.
Nick, hold on.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Hold on.
Dude.
Tom Brady's going to run, and now we got AI and Joel. What are you drinking down there, Nuts? Are you okay?
Yingling,
meant
a
to
proud
say
sponsor.
Elijah.
Proud sponsor of Yingling.
I love it. Look at that.
But no, my
ahead,
point
man.
is, dude, he has numbers like Allen Iverson.
No, he does.
He doesn't play like Allen Iverson, but he has the heart like Allen Iverson. And any given day, he can destroy a team when he wants to. And if you put a couple people around him, not mental midgets, as you say.
Mental midgets.
As long as you don't have that, and I'm okay with getting package both of them out of here because that's the rumor that Tobias and Simmons are
That's
in
a lot of money.
package.
That's a
deal.
lot of money.
If we can do that, I think that's a win for Morey. If not, if we can't do the Simmons thing, then Morey goes into the dump, and I'm totally against him because he waited too long, in my eyes. He needed to jump on that with Harden. I would have made that. I would have did it for Harden.
I would have did it in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
And they squandered it and let it go. But
listen,
Embiid is the heart and soul of this city, and he knows and understands what Philly is all about. And I want him to go nowhere. I want him to finish his career here, and I think he is absolutely one of the best players in the NBA today.
Hey, you hear all that? It's like the mummer struck going there on a table with Nick over there.
Yeah.
Banging out the table. So adamant. But listen, Javon checking in says John Collins at Cam Reddish might be the best option for the Sixers.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's going to be tough for them to move Harris and Simmons. I'll tell you, man, it's going to take a three-way deal in order for that to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is I like the Kings. I like Halle Burton. I like De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
I like Buddy Hield. Right?
I love all that.
Give me somebody because right now nobody's doing anything. Yeah. Right? Nobody's doing nothing.
Draft picks?
I don't know if I do draft. The NBA is so tough with it. We suck at drafting.
Can you mention our last number one pick? I mean, Maxey was terrific. But
unless you're in the top four, you're nothing.
Right.
I mean, really, and we're not going to be there because
the
we're
Warriors
just not going to be there. There's a lot of bad teams
Klay
in the
Thompson,
NBA right now.
There's a lot. There's a lot
of bad teams in the NBA. So you're not going to get a top spot. So you might as well build through the free agency.
Well, the problem in the NBA though, free agency is a crapshoot. There's really no free agency
You have to have
anymore,
cap space.
right? And then everybody wants a super team too, right? Everybody wants to build their own squad.
Yeah.
Everybody wants, hey, Nick, come on, me and you will go over here. Like it's ridiculous, right? Now, our boy Ricky Lorenzen checking in says, I will take Halliburton at 6'5" combo guard and throw in heel.
Yep.
I'm in there.
Listen,
I'm definitely on that.
They're on a 7-game winning streak. They're 4 games out of the top slot, and we've been concerned about their play all year. Imagine if he could pull something off.
There you go, turn it away, guys.
I'm trying to look at you, Tone. I'm being polite.
Hold the mic with your hand, bro. There. Oh, there.
You'll never find. So,
Touching
watch your phone, bro. They're expensive.
no, but seriously, if Morey can work magic and make a move, this team is actually ascending a little bit right now.
Yep.
And once Maxey gets back into play, I love that kid.
I love him too.
But they could still do something.
They can.
And we got to go back to what Dave was telling us. Dave believes something will get done by the trade deadline. He believes that the small market teams will want a guy like Simmons because, as you referenced, it's not easy to get players in free agency.
No,
per se.
It's not. It's really not. And it's going to be even tougher as years go on. It really is. Now, Mr. Tossi, can you imagine what's going through Ben Simmons' mind right now that we keep winning? It's going to be killing him.
Listen, he's got to go for whatever, I think, at this point. Because Dan just referenced they're playing so well right now. Embiid has got a clear head. He knows this is his team right now. He's not worried about any other dynamics that are a negative force into, from a player standpoint on this team. And he's got to go, man. And Ben Simmons sitting back watching what's going on here, he's got to be just going out of his mind. He's got to be going out of his mind. He's like, just get me out of here. Just get me out of here. And you know what? Everybody in this city wants him out of here. He's got to go. I think, Tone, they got to somehow just make a deal somewhere and get this done. Like, it's just too much of a distraction. You can't have this kind of a distraction going on into the post, late into the season and into the postseason.
I agree. And the problem is, though, would you want him? If you're another GM and you're looking at this situation,
I think Dan made a good point. If you're a small market team and you're trying to bring in fans and sell tickets, and you can bring in a guy that's dynamic, and let's call him what he is. I mean, he's a bust for us in the playoffs, and he was just a complete stiff when he couldn't shoot, couldn't free throws, all those things. But I mean, the guy was a player in the regular season. I mean, you can't discount that.
You're right.
So, a team in a small market that is looking for, some kind of a change in their philosophy and the way they play and just to, expose themselves a little bit better. How can you go wrong with a guy like him?
It's a good point about the small market teams because, I mean, honestly, how are they going to attract anybody, right? How are they going to attract an audience? How are they going to attract a fan base? How are they going to attract a free agent, right? There's so many different things, man. This whole situation just
I kind of want him just to rot. Sorry, but I kind of want him just to sit there and rot.
He could rot in Louisiana.
Because that's the Philly mentality in me, and I just want him to be suffering just as much as this team's suffering because he didn't show up. And that's the problem. He didn't show up. And with the league, and the league sees that, and that's why we're having such a hard time. And me being as vindictive as I am, I want him to just sit there and rot and never get another job ever again.
I mean, listen, it sure seems like what Morey's trying to do. Right? It sure seems like what Morey's trying to do.
Well, he wants the best deal or that, right?
Yeah. He does. I mean, he's very happy with him sitting there just rotting away. But
it doesn't benefit the team.
The biggest thing for me is it still bothers me is that they made a mockery of the whole mental health situation.
Right? Yes, that
just bothers me more than
anything.
You know what I mean?
That pissed me off so bad.
There's got to be a code in life where you don't make mockeries of certain disabilities, or you don't pass judgment on people, and that's the bad part. That's what just gave me that bad vibe. I always had a bad vibe about Ben. I did. I always thought that he was that entitled athlete that was never given, it was given everything, I should say. It never had to do anything for himself and figured he could get by with what he was able to do, in his own game. I don't need to shoot. Never need to shoot.
And nobody stepped up to force him.
Nobody.
That's the problem.
Well, that's
Nobody
they
stepped
encouraged
up and
yes.
forced
encouraged
him
it
to
and
say, dude, you got to learn how to shoot
They
a foul
encouraged it
shot.
and defended
What
it
are you
the whole
doing?
entire time.
He's a treasure.
He is.
Any person can practice foul shots. I don't care if you're
I agree.
27 years old or 100 years old.
You can practice
can
rotation
practice.
in your room.
If you're getting paid the money that he's getting paid, go to a private court like you did at St. Joe's. You're okay. Your mental status was okay to go to St. Joe's and practice with them, but you can't come to Philly and practice with us.
But it was
It's
Brown and
ridiculous.
Rivers condoned that though. I mean, and they would go on the air and talk to in their press conferences and tell you flat out that they don't need him to do that.
I think
And it's-
they were just protecting.
I
him.
know they
Yeah,
were, but
that's-
I'm not.
that's
It's a
horrible.
mistake.
I
It's
know.
A huge,
I
you're a
agree.
professional coach in the National Basketball Association. That you got to be. Come on, man.
And it's Doc
Baby-
Rivers. You won a championship.
If Doc Rivers said it midseason, he would have quit midseason last year. That's the kind of soft shell this guy has. Now listen, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, Aaron Gordon, they all couldn't shoot a lick when they came into this league.
I agree.
And
They worked
They
at it.
worked their
Yep.
tail off, and now they're knockdown shooters. It's not a hard thing if you have a passion and a dedication
Dedication.
to your craft. It's
Dedication.
insane.
I agree.
Listen, Vinny says Ben and Danny Green for Halliburton and Heald and Barnes. I'm doing that deal in a heartbeat.
I'm moving to Sacramento.
Right? I think all three of us could, or four of us would drive his ass right there.
Yeah, without
No
a
problem
doubt.
with that.
Oh, the other Danny Green. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not old school.
I like Sacramento.
Not old school. Nah. so listen, we gave Ben unnamed player, I should say, not Ben. I'm sorry, shouldn't have said his name. We gave him way too much airtime. So we
Right.
got to go. Dan, we got to get. We've only got 2 out of 3 of this trivia question.
Okay.
So we got to let everybody know what the answer is.
All right.
Okay. So and then we'll pick some lucky customer out here to get some prime roofing gear to go home.
So
with.
you're going to give the answer, is what you're saying?
So we're going to bring it up again so
Okay.
everybody can understand, okay, where we're at and what the trivia question is for the MVPs for the Phillies. Okay.
I'll be honest.
How
I
about
don't
I-
have a clue.
How about I give it?
I don't have a clue.
I'll give the hint and the years, and maybe it'll start popping up.
So it's named the last 3 Phillies MVP winners. For a bonus, give us the year too.
All right. So 06, 07, and last year were the winners.
Well, we don't. MV3 baby.
All right, so-
Bryce Harper. We
All
all
right.
know who that
Yep.
was.
So
Yes.
think of the glory years. Who was 06?
Jay-
The
Utley?
big.
J-roll.
No,
Oh, Ryan Howard.
Ryan
The
Howard
big
was 06.
piece.
And
Yeah.
the big piece was 06, and 07 was J-roll.
Right.
You know what's funny?
J-roll.
Nobody got the J roll. Nobody got the J roll. And the only reason why I knew the J roll is because we talked about him last week,
Yeah,
and I
you're
was
right.
I was googling his stats,
Yep.
and I knew in 2007 that he was the MVP. So,
That's when you had like 420
dude, he
across
was-
the board.
he was insane. He was insane. He really was. So that's our first trivia question brought to you by Prime Roofing. Again, where they rescue your roof and always do the job right. We're going to have 2 more trivia questions, but first is where we break off a little bit and talk about something different. But Nikki Nuts, we're about 45 minutes into this and we haven't heard another Eagles share yet. We got to get everybody fired up. So get everybody fired up and let them know who's going to win, man.
Ask the bar
Hold up.
first. Ask
Hold
the
up.
bar.
I got to ask one of our devoted fans
Yes.
who he has in the Eagles Tampa Bay game.
Eagles.
Yeah, there we go.
And as he said Eagles are going to win, which that's also the team that I think is going to
You
win.
better.
So EAGLES Eagles.
My
Fly,
man, Nikki.
Eagles.
Yeah,
fly.
he's always my man. Good job. We'll get that song. We'll play that. Right. But this is listen. This is some a good time for the Jigsaw Chronicles, and this I gotta give this to my man, Mr. Tossi.
Love it.
Right, I gotta give my man Tossi came up with this, and I love it. And the Jigsaw Chronicles this week are the lunch meat counter confessions. Okay, we've gone parking lot violators, shopping cart violations, and now we're talking lunch meat counter confessions. And I'm going to tell you what, there ain't no friggin' worst thing in the world than being at a lunch meat counter when there's a lot of people. Dude,
Sunday morning.
so I can think of so many scenarios. Like the people that think, now you get a ticket, right? You get a ticket that has a number, but they still think if they're in the front that you're trying to butt in front of them. I have a friggin' number. Like, where am I going? I just want to see what's on sale and see what I want to buy, right? I just want to see. So, Nick, What's your famous lunch meat account? I confess.
The ticket thing is a fiasco.
Right, it's ridiculous.
It's an absolute fiasco. So what I do is when God forbid, I am there on a Sunday or a Saturday, which is almost never. But I happen to have been there, over the holidays. You almost just can't avoid, you're there almost every day. So I'm one of those that gets the ticket. I pull my ticket and I look and I'm like 17 people away. It's Sunday.
Yep.
I go and do my shopping.
Yep.
I go, you get your ticket and you go and do your shopping.
You're normal.
Some people frown upon that, but hey, listen, if you get back and you're in time, there's whatever. You're not doing anything wrong. I'm not the guy that goes to the supermarket to socialize with people. I don't want to be standing around the lunch meat counter in my hometown talking to everybody. Hey. I'm not a gym socializer. I'm not a supermarket socializer. I like to socialize at the bars. I like to socialize with the guys. I like to be out at the barbershop and socialize with people, but not in the supermarket. I take my ticket. I go. I walk around. So this one particular time, I go back with my ticket. I got number 28. I go back to the counter, and I'm like, it's 2 before. I'm perfect timing. I'm like number.
Yeah, that's right? Pretty key by you, by the way.
I'm number 26. I'm waiting. So they flip it. They flip the thing. The lady goes and gets her lunch meat, and then the one guy flips it from 27 to 28, but it's not my turn yet. You ever have this happen to you?
Yeah, dude.
Where you got the early flipper?
The early flipper. Yes.
It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
early flipper.
Yes.
You got the early flipper. So he flips it. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a problem because there's like 15, 16.
Right.
There's 15, 16 people at the lunch meat counter, and I want to get mortadella and salami and go.
Yeah, you
I'm getting like 3 things.
Right. And you always feel bad, so you're like, I'm going to get it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know.
So, yeah, of course it happens. 29. I'm like,
yo, hold
up.
up.
The lady was running it. She was like beelining with her 29, handing the ticket, beelining with the ticket. And I'm like, listen, I was like, you go. But I just want you to know, I'm 28. You skipped over me. Just make sure that I'm next.
Right.
Now I got to explain to everybody else who's got 29
can't count,
30.
Yeah, because they're going to go to 30.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What do you mean they skipped over you? Were you out? Now they're looking at me like was I out and I came back late? And
He
they
must
skipped
have been
over
on
me?
his phone.
Right. Exactly. Oh, what a train wreck. We got it. Somebody, look, we got so many smart listeners out there. Somebody come up with a new way to do the ticket thing.
There's got to be an app or something that somebody
There's
can
gotta
just be
be.
like order and then you pick up at a certain time.
I mean, damn, you got like a vaccine app now. Like, you can't get one for the lunch meat
Right,
counter?
that's my point. Yeah,
I thought they did. I thought that you could go to the kiosk thing and type in your.
No.
lunch order.
See, this is where you're wrong about the kiosk.
All right.
Is then you're going to get your cheese cut like bricks. Okay? Because when you go to the kiosk, they're like, yo, I like my American cheese nice and thin.
Yeah.
Right?
There's
You want to
no
melt your
option.
mouth.
That's
No
part of
option.
my chronicles.
Yeah, so
I go behind a guy that anything else, and it's like I get stuck behind the anything else person. That's like, yes, I'll have a half a pound of corned beef. Anything else? Yes. I'll have a pound of genuine salami. Anything else? Yes. I'll get give me a half a pound of whitefish salad.
And then they ask for
And I'm
something
like,
that was like
anything
off
else?
the wall
Yeah,
that
like-
nobody has.
And then-
That you're like, yeah, can I have that?
Yeah. Oh, let me go back. I gotta unpack that cheese. I just want.
No, that's the
I need a
worst.
half a pound of turkey. That's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
here
the
for.
worst.
Right? The worst. We're like, yeah,
But
can
they're, I
the
gotta go
ham
get
that's on
another one.
sale. I got to get another one. It takes them 20 minutes to get to the back. And then they got the big butcher knife out, and they can't cut the plastic
Yes.
off.
Oh
And it's
my
like,
God,
And
yes.
they cut
Oh my
themselves
God,
and they're going to
yes.
emergency room. But don't bleed on my time. I'm next. Don't bleed on my time.
Listen, we could be here. But my pet peeve is the cheese.
Yes.
It is because here's the thing. It's funny. You say early flipper. I start to think maybe I have a speech impediment, right? So I'm like, excuse me, can I get a pound of American Land O'Lakes sliced thin? Sure. I get home, it's a freaking brick. So I'm thinking, did I say thick? Did they think I said thick and not thin? So then I go back and I like the people that show you.
The tester.
Yeah, I
yeah.
like the test. Like,
Yeah.
give me the test.
Yeah.
How's this?
How's this?
Sometimes
Right?
they let you eat it too.
Yeah, and I'm good either way. I want to see the texture. I want to see the flip. You know what I mean? I can kind of see, just like the sign right here. You know, is it good? Is it not good? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that kills me. My son eats it in bricks. Like, he takes it and folds it up into like a stack of Legos. I'm like, bro,
Right.
that's disgusting, man. I can't do any. I just can't do it.
The best thing was when Christopher from Sopranos takes it
Oh.
and he puts the matchstick under the weigher and he goes, hey, what are you doing? What? Put it on there. Put it on there. Hey, why are you messing with the? It was the greatest episode ever.
Shout out Sopranos, as always.
It was awesome.
One of the best series ever on HBO. Even though I'll take The Wire over that, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wire might be one.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll tell you what, Yellowstone's making a strong run right now.
I'm out. I don't even know what that
It's
is.
so good.
Oh, Kevin
Really?
Costner. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin
really?
Costner's still around?
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's
Tin Cup?
He's a badass on this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is Kevin Costner?
Like 65ish.
Still look good?
No.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Yellowstone.
They just said no.
It doesn't look like Silverado Kevin Costner, but you know.
All right, I listen.
I like the Field of Dreams costume.
Oh, definitely. Look, Rick second in says, I thought this was a sports talk show.
we do it all, man.
No, we got to
all,
break it
man,
up,
here.
Rick. We got to break it up.
Baby.
Jigsaw
Just-
Chronicles.
Yeah,
baby.
it's Jigsaw Chronicles. It's just kind of like the Heat Ratio Chronicles, but I started this a long time ago because things just bother me. They just bother me. And I got a really good one for next week, so stay tuned.
Oh.
It has to do with Wawa. It doesn't have to do with gas or
Yes.
the store because I got a really good Wawa rant next week. So stay tuned for that. Let's go in.
I need to get you
Yeah.
on Nick.
What's that?
Nick's rant and rave.
Oh, raves with Nicky
Rant and
Nuts.
riffs.
Yeah, you were right about that NHL broadcast, by the way.
But
I
yeah,
heard-
that
I
was
heard a lot of that.
That was horseshit.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that for the rest of the week.
It was.
So let's dive into some NBA real fast, okay? Just real fast because I got to lay claim to the Splash Brothers, okay?
Yes.
Klay Thompson made his return to the Warriors, increasing Steph Curry's chances for another ring. If we take Steph and include him with Michael, LeBron, AI, and Kobe, what would you say is your most memorable? And what I mean by that is, who do you enjoy watching the most? And it's an honest question. I know a lot of people might say Michael, but I'm going to tell you something. I went down there and I watched Steph in person, and I don't ever, besides AI, I loved MJ. He's my favorite, obviously. But watching him on TV, but AI, the way he battled and the way he was so exciting. But Steph Curry, man, he's on another level. Really is. And I have to be honest with you. I'm not, we talked about him being on the GOAT list, but I just, overall, talking about those players in that era, Mr. Old School, go with you first. Like, your most memorable of that time, because that everybody was dogging Klay, said they made too much of it. And I don't think they did, because I'll tell you what, that was a really good luster right there, having him come back. And that team, Steph said that he would take his team over the 96 Bulls. That Steph said he would go with KD and Klay and go over the 96 Bulls.
He's lying.
I'm just saying.
He's lying.
So I'm just, I'm throwing it out there. But damn, Mr. Old School Green, what's your most memorable of that era right there, of those guys?
Well,
What do you think?
before I answer it,
Yeah.
and I give kudos to you for saying that, because didn't Curry have a modest game against the Sixers the day
Yes.
you went? So
But
imagine if he played
yes.
his traditional self,
But it was just watching him
Right.
fight through the screens and the way he ran and the way
That's a good
he was a
point.
complete package,
He-
man.
he-
Complete package.
Players like that never dog it.
Never.
I would say for me, the Michael Jordan game before the rings, even when they lost the series to the Celtics. I think it was 86ish when he scored 60 points against the Celtics in the playoff game.
Okay.
I mean, Larry Bird,
63.
63.
Yep.
Larry Bird was in awe of him.
He was.
And when Larry Bird gives you high praise, which he never did for anyone, that meant something.
You're right.
And again, I'm old school. So is Nick. I remember Jordan making the game-winning shot against Georgetown.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Who
of
else?
And I didn't. But that being said, I didn't think he was going to be a god in basketball coming out. I did not think he was going to be that legendary.
I don't think many people.
But
thought
I mean that
what he
game
would-
that game against the Celtics where he scored 63. That's to me when it
Yeah, I
really
agree.
started.
And that was only like his second or third year.
But that's when I was like, holy cow, this guy is on a different level.
I mean, I can
And it never
still
stopped.
hear, and I apologize to the announcer because I can't get his name off the top of my head, but I can just hear right now, shot on Elo, it's good, Bulls win.
Oh, yeah.
Bulls win, right? And the first person that hugs him is Brad Sellers. So, I just remembered, man, that was the Lenny Wilkins led Cavaliers back
Yes.
then, man. Talk about a team.
I
My
mean,
God.
I'm a different world because I'm a little younger than you two,
Us, yeah.
most of you. But I'm in the
Bring it
era.
closer. Don't push it away,
I'm
Nicky
in
Nuts.
the era of
There you go.
Michael Jordan did things that nobody ever saw.
You're right.
And he also was in the era where he got murdered. I mean, Bill Laimbeer was the most biggest hack in the league.
Oh.
And there was a point where, and I just saw today, where Michael Jordan went down and he knew he was going to get nailed by Bill Laimbeer. He turned his back and threw it over his head and it went in. And it was like nothing. I just don't see anybody being able to surpass him. And Stephen Curry is one of the best shooter I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And he works off of screens very, very well. Probably the best I've seen as well. But as far as Michael Jordan is concerned and putting him in that caliber, I can't do it.
I think he deserves to be in that list, but I definitely wouldn't put him over Michael. But what you said, and Mr. Tassi, I know you're not a basketball guy, but I know this is still good enough in your wheelhouse.
Well, that's a perfect question for somebody like me. Because
exactly.
Yes.
The time in my life where I was so engaged in basketball was when I was watching the Chicago Bulls on television.
Miss it.
At the United
I mean,
Center,
all I wanted to do was watch the Chicago Bulls.
That's all. Everybody, it was unbelievable. That's all. That was primetime TV.
So to me, I mean, it's Jordan all the way, and I think it's that team, really, to be honest with you, that contributes to that answer. I mean, it's the most legendary team of all time, that late '90s team, particularly that '96 team, and watching Jordan just do his magic. It was just incredible for me. I couldn't get enough of it.
Well, Tony, let me ask you this question also.
Yeah, what's up?
Curry's amazing. There's no doubt about it. The other guys are also extraordinary defenders. So what are your thoughts on Curry's defense?
I'll tell you what, because obviously you're talking about Michael being Defensive Player of the Year multiple
Kobe
times,
could do
right?
it too,
Kobe was a beast, right? He was a beast. And say what you want about LeBron. I'm not a LeBron guy. I respect what he does off the court. I still think that he's still 1A, 1B.
Dude, he takes half a game off because he doesn't play defense.
But the thing is, he does play hard.
He does.
That guy, he does play hard. And AI,
he wasn't
a great defender.
Well,
he left everything out on the court.
Yes.
Okay,
he
that's all
that.
He stole the passing.
Yeah.
Right.
But Steph is a very underrated defender.
I'm just
I
asking.
agree.
Very
I'm
underrated.
I'm asking.
No, he is. He's a very underrated defender. I would beg to say that he does get more steals than most of the guys on that list, except for Jordan, because Jordan was just a beast, dude. He is the top player of all time.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. He is the GOAT. He is the guy
100.
he is the standard.
Yep.
Right? He's a standard. It's not because I grew up in that era. It's not like Mr. Tassi was saying. It's not because we all did. 93, 92, 93, right? 91, 92, 93. I remember driving home from my cousins, Kim, rest in peace, that we were driving home from Jersey, and I was listening to Paxson hit that three against Paul Westfall's Phoenix Suns. I remember that. And then I remember his dad being murdered. And I remember him going to the Chicago White Sox, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember, and then coming back with number 45,
Mm-hmm.
what, right? In that Indiana series, right? So many, and then he just took over again.
Oh, yeah.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. But again, he is great, he is phenomenal, and he is king. And speaking of king, again, Steam Pub, we want to thank for the hospitality. Get here, whether we're here or not. Okay, you got to get here and try this amazing menu. As always, the real-time draft beer list. We talked about it before. And if you're looking for employment, you're looking for a job, they are hiring right now. Just come in, say you're interested.
Bucks County is an awesome place to work.
It's
an
live
awesome
and work.
place
Yes,
to work.
It is.
Mean, there's so much.
I think I'd be
Bucks County.
I'd gain back the weight, Nick, if I worked through it.
Right.
I'd gain back my weight because I'd be eating like crazy.
Our man dropped over 30 pounds, ladies and
Not
gentlemen.
yet. I'm not 30 yet.
He's close.
Not 30 yet.
Radio's about podcasts are about embellishment.
Yeah. Well, they say that the camera adds like a good 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of probably breaking even right about now, but that's okay. Let's get to our second trivia question. Okay. Our second trivia question tonight is brought to you by our great friends at the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame, which is actually in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who houses the world's largest collection of bobbleheads. Visit www.bobbleheadhall.com. See what's new today. Everything is limited edition. Everything is individually numbered. It's like getting that piece of memorabilia with the certificate of authenticity. Everything. And what we have is a Sister Jean bobblehead. Okay, Sister Jean Bob. Listen, you can't make this up. This thing, I'm gonna put this up on the screen in a second. This thing is awesome. Okay, I mean, if you don't know the story with Sister Jean, right? If you don't know the story of Sister Jean, I'm gonna put it up on the screen right here. You see her right here in the bottom right-hand corner. There's Sister Jean, wheelchair and all. And next week we'll be giving away Joe Lenardi, which is the bracketologist for ESPN. We'll be giving that away as well. So check them out at the Bobblehead Hall of Fame
Very
as well.
rare.
Philly's
Very
own
rare.
Joe Lenardi.
Yes,
Very
Philly's
rare.
own. I like that, Mr. Green. Philly's own Joe Lenardi. So let's get to that trivia question. We stumped everybody with a 2 for 3, but I think somebody's going to get this one, Dan. I do. I think somebody will get this. And the trivia question is, name the 3 Super Bowls by number the Eagles played in. It's interesting. Name the 3 Super Bowls by number that the Eagles played. See, what's great about these trivia questions is you think that you know, and then you're like, wait a minute. Oh, my God, dude, what year was that?
You remember
Like,
the years.
yeah.
I don't remember the numbers.
Right. Name the 3, right? Who remembers the damn Roman numerals? I can't
If
remember what I did
you
yesterday.
know one number, you
Right.
can build off of it mathematically.
Yeah, well, that's a teacher's mentality.
Yeah,
Well-
no kidding.
well,
Yeah.
No kidding.
Like, he acts like it's so easy. Like it's
Yeah,
effortless.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you just build off it, man. Yeah, okay.
One
Yeah.
year.
I mean, they all see your notes, dude. They all see the.
No, this is the Cubs.
But no, seriously, name the 3 Super Bowls by number, and again, you will get a Sister Jean.
Let's go, people.
bobblehead.
Answer the question.
Absolutely.
Answer
We're
the
gonna get the Eagles
question.
predictions pretty
Just
soon.
answer
okay?
the question.
No, Ricky, just answer the question.
My
It's not
God.
that difficult, right? It's not that difficult. But let's go to something different here. This is what we're going to start. Let me name this player. This is just something that we kind of bounced around because it gets a good conversation going. It's called Name That Player, where we name a team and you tell us who you feel was the face of that franchise. So what that means is it's not just, hey, Chicago, it's all, no, it's one team. And this week we're going to go to the Windy City in Major League Baseball and talk about the Chicago Cubs. And in your opinion, now it doesn't have to be the take to where everybody names the most popular player. Maybe it's a memorable moment or player for you, something that you remember, right? So, we want to know who your face of the Cubs is. Who is your most memorable player of the Chicago Cubs? So check in online. If you're here, we got the mic going around. See if people want to get on and talk. I know it's COVID, so we'll write them down and we'll answer for them if they want. But I'm curious. Mr. Tossi, we'll go with you first. The Chicago Cubs. Who is your face or who is your most memorable player of the Cubs, my man?
My most memorable player, the guy I remember the most, I just see him when I think about a Cubs uniform. I see his face, and I see him in the outfield as Sammy Sosa. I just, that was right in my wheelhouse. I was just watching baseball all the time, and
numbers left and right.
This guy was just so dynamic and spectacular, and Ryan Sandberg was too. I was growing up watching baseball then, and he was the most prolific second baseman in the team's history, and quite honestly, maybe one of the top. I would say at least top 3 second basemen of all time.
Yes,
I agree.
But when you talk about Mr. Cub, I think a lot of people in Chicago would have to say maybe not memorable because you'd have to, it's been a while since he's played. He's passed away at this point, but is Ernie Banks. Big power hitter,
big time.
Let's play 2.
Yeah. It's a great day for
Yep.
baseball. Let's play 2.
Yep.
I love it.
But I would say Sammy Sosa for me.
Sammy Sosa. I tell you what, race for the record, whether we, all roids aside, right? Honestly, he gave us some exciting moments in
Dude,
Wrigley
I
Field.
just remember him running around with the American flag.
Oh, yeah,
Around
I remember
the
that.
state, right around. It just
Wait,
it gave me chills. Like,
did he have the
seeing
best
that.
trot, though?
It was
The
just
best
amazing.
bass
It was just
little skip out of the batter's box.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. I really did enjoy him.
Yeah, I did really like Sammy Sosa. But hold on. We got breaking news. We got an answer to the trivia question.
Nice.
And we're going to throw us up there and see what this is. And Mr. Green, you're going to let us know, is this correct? This is our man, Jason Lee Schuyler. Is this a correct answer, Mr. Green?
I'm blind as a bat.
Oh, I'm sorry. XV, XIX, and LII.
Dude. I
What are
don't
those
want
numbers?
I don't want Roman numerals.
Come on, man. Let's go. You're the teacher.
15,
Okay.
39,
Okay.
And 52, he's correct.
My man, Jason Lee Schuyler of
Raiders,
PHL 17,
Patriots.
William Tennant's own.
Yes.
Mr. Jason Lee, thanks for checking in. Jason, I got to hook up with you. Again, Friday night sports show. Check him out, 11:30. He's got all kinds of cats on there. Had Charlie Manuel, had Ruben Amaro. He's got people, whether it be local show hosts, whether it be celebrities, you got to check them out, man. Friday nights, 11:30. Check them out, PHL 17. That's where you find him. And Jason, we will
Good
hook
job,
up.
Jason.
You
Good
get
job.
the Sister Jean bobblehead. My man. And here's the thing about Jason. I know he didn't Google that.
No.
He's a smart dude, man.
He knows his
He's a
stuff.
smart dude. Nicky Nuts. Let's get back to the Cubs. Your
My-
face, your most memorable. We were
My
talking.
most memorable Cub would be
Bring that mic a
Ryan-
little closer.
Ryan Sandberg.
Okay. Rhino, baby. I like
I
it.
would go with Ryan Sandberg, not because he was once a Philly, but he was also a manager of the Phillies. But my just to give you a back, my cousin Joe is his name. He he actually was his favorite player,
Okay.
and that's why I followed him.
Ryan Sandberg loved Joe.
No, Joe loved Ryan Sandberg, so that's why I followed him, and I would even throw in Andre Dawson in that because I just
49
loved
homers,
him.
MVP.
I thought he was just a gridiron dude. Ryan Sandberg was probably one of the best second basemen ever to play the game,
Was.
and that just brought me back to when you brought that question up. It brought me back to when I was like 11 and we were playing baseball stars and you could pick your own
Whoa, baseball star.
baseball stars. You could pick your own team.
Yo.
You could put your own players to it. It was just, it was
that
one
was
of the
that was
best
the best,
eras
dude.
of my life. And that's why I picked Ryan
I'm
Sandberg
gonna
because
cry.
I never got to pick him because my cousin always picked him first. And then it was Andre Dawson right after that. And Andre Dawson was just a man that just always played. He was phenomenal. And that's my perspective of the Chicago Cubs.
I'm gonna get Mr. Coker on the mic in about 2 minutes. He's gonna come up. I want to hear his take as well. I'm completely different than all you guys. I agree with you 100%. But I just look at certain things. Like I'm a unique individual, right? So I specifically look at swings. And I don't know who had a sweeter swing besides the kid. Obviously, Ken Griffey Jr.
I know what you're going to say.
always had.
Can I guess?
But Mark Grace.
I was going to guess
Mark
that.
Grace,
I was
yep.
going to guess that.
Mark Grace.
Hell of a fielder, too.
Right? I mean, first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. You talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
going back him and Will to throw Clark
Yeah.
from a lefty
Contemporaries,
position, right? In Wrigley Field. I mean, that was one of the sweetest swings I've ever remembered.
This is true.
I loved watching Mark Grace. I did. I thought he was effortless. He was smooth. Wasn't an MVP by any means, right? It
No,
doesn't
but I
matter.
know the name.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as you said it, I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to go on the mound too, and you got to go Greg Maddux.
Yes,
Now,
Greg Maddux.
I understand Greg's heyday was Atlanta,
He won a sign with
right?
the Cubs.
But he did. But he really took that next step
Yep.
with Atlanta. But I'll tell you, they're for me, those two guys are my face and my most memorable. So Dan, what do you got, buddy?
Well, my indoctrination into sports was around
You got any Cubs?
1976. And the Cubs were terrible.
Yeah.
So in those days, Bill Buckner was on the Cubs, and he was a solid ball player. Always, he had the misfortune of that moment with the Red Sox, but I always loved Bill Buckner.
Buckner.
From a perspective of a Phillies fan watching the Cubs play, but it goes to Ryan Sandberg again. I mean, the Phillies traded Larry Boa, Ryan Sandberg for Ivan De Jesus.
Ivan De Jesus.
An absolute mediocre shortstop.
Stiff.
And it just absolutely, you watched him play for the next 15 years, and that's all I ever thought about is we gave this kid away, and he became a top 3 second baseman of all time. So Ryan Sandberg, for me, as a player, is the face of the Cubs. As a historian of baseball, it's Ernie Banks.
It's hard to listen. There's not a name that we've mentioned that's been bad. But Pittsburgh, John Coker, John, slide so they can see you. Always see the side of your head. Slide over a little bit so we can. There you go. There you go. Yeah, there.
Come on, sit on my lap.
There we
This is
go.
why we can't do this live.
Yeah. Go ahead, Johnny. What you got, brother?
I gotta. Sorry, not to pile on. I gotta go. Rhino Sandberg.
I
I got my little league baseball cards. You remember when you used to put your favorite players on? Oh, Rhino Sandberg. 23 was my number. It wasn't for Jordan.
It was
It
for
was for
Rhino.
Sandberg.
Good for you.
Check
Yeah.
that out.
But best cover of all time, Tuffy Rhodes.
Tuffy Rhodes.
3 home runs opening day.
Oh my God, he went Tuffy Rhodes. Yo, Nick. Now you're not doing your job, buddy. So when these people come by, you got to start grabbing people some Eagles predictions. All right, we got about 15 minutes left, so let's get on that wagon so we get that through. But what about no love for Lee Smith?
Lee Arthur
Right?
from 1980 to around 1988.
I have no idea.
Flamethrower. Oh, he was a flamethrower.
Closer, man.
Yeah.
I mean, no
Yeah,
love for
yeah.
Sean Dunston.
Oh, he had a cannon for running
Right?
the shortstop as well.
I just say, I mean,
you
he's
could go Curry Wood, Mark Pryor.
Kerry Wood. What?
Yeah.
What? Oh man. And Mark Pryor. What a shit. Well, we thought they were going to be the
What a
next
legendary
generation.
staff that
Oh,
could have
my,
been.
that could have been.
Yeah.
Always.
Who do you have winning the Eagles?
All right.
Yeah. See, it's not that difficult, right?
Not at all.
Eagle. We know. Listen. And obviously we're biased for Philly, but at the same time, I think it's a logical chance that they do win this game. So again, we're going to do this every week when we talk about name that place because it opens up a plethora of conversations. But we're going to bring this back to Philly for the end of this for a minute. And in a question because this went on in our chat multiple times, and because we have one more trivia question. All right, we got one more trivia question. We'll start that in. And our third trivia question tonight, brought to you by America's Older Brewery, Yingling. From the traditional lager to their all-new flight, they have a beer for you. Visit www.yingling.com, tongue twister, for new products. And what we have is a Phillies prize pack. Okay, and what this Phillies prize pack includes. Now, again, maybe you're not a big Aaron Nola fan. Okay, maybe you're not a big Aaron Nola fan, but this is what you're going to get, right? You're going to get an Aaron Nola shirt. You're going to get a Yingling baseball. You're going to get a Yingling beer mug. You're going to get a 6-pack of Yingling that has the old retro banner on it. And you're going to get a backpack from Yingling, right?
But you don't
all from Yingling.
You don't get Aaron Nola, though.
But you don't get Aaron Nola.
Right.
Sorry, you don't get
a
Aaron
little
Nola.
misleading. I couldn't tell.
Well, he's the face, right? he is the face, so I got to give him some love, right?
Yes.
He needs to be a little better.
I
so
still believe in Aaron Nola.
Bump the game up, Aaron. We need you, all right? Check that out. But let's get to this trivia question again. Now, I like this because it's 6 on the Major League. Only one player in history of Major League Baseball played for 20 or more seasons without ever being on a losing team. Who is it? And I will say, this dude is my idol. All I'm going to say. And I'll tell you why when somebody gets it. So, again, only one player in the history of Major League Baseball played 20 or more seasons without ever being on a losing team. Who is he? 20 years. 20 seasons, Nick. 20 seasons. That's a good one. So, again, check that out. Try not to Google. Bring us your answer.
I see a lot of phones being opened up out here.
My boy, Nicky Nuts, this one's for you. Our good friend Rick Lachlan says, it's been a while since we've had an Eagles chant.
It has. Absolutely, it has.
So you got to give it to him, man. You got to give it.
Here we go, baby. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Yeah, you got everybody going, man.
Go, baby!
There we go. Go Birds. As always, go Birds. And see, that's why this passion is so great.
This place is jumping.
Love this
hard,
place.
man.
This place is
jumping.
Again,
slammed.
shout out Steam Pub, Southampton, PA, steampub.com, on location every Tuesday, Heat Ratio Sports, and they are hiring if you need a job. A lot of people need jobs out there. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's bring your craft to Steam Pub so we can see you here every Tuesday night.
It's really a
right?
family. It really
it
is.
is.
It's run by a family, and it is the
Local
family.
family. Yes,
It's
local
a family mentality, and you'll be a part of the family if you want to join.
It's a Tuesday. It's 5 degrees outside, and this place is packed. Huh?
Yes, it is. And my
It's
feet are my feet are feeling it too. But all kidding aside, let's go to this last topic before we roll out of here. And it's a very general topic. But one thing that always is Philadelphia's passion, you hear it here, you can hear it on the microphone, hear it no matter what happens in the Philadelphia sports area. But it can sometimes be mistaken for ignorance. I say that all the time. We're misunderstood. Philly fans want to win at all costs and sometimes make a win still feel like a loss. Why is that? So Let me give you my answer. It's because we are the most passionate and most educated fan base in all of sports. We make it feel like a loss because I know guys voluntarily that are watching game film, that are breaking it down every day to bring you content, to bring you an educated opinion on why they think happened. That's why it feels like a loss. What we're doing, we're breaking down the game like we are the analysts. Where else do you get that? You don't get that anywhere else. So I won't say the word, but I'll pour whatever it was skunk. How about skunk beer? Remember skunk beer back in the day? We'll pour some skunk beer on any analyst that says they understand Philadelphia because they don't. So, Dan, that's my issue, and that's my reason why it still feels like a loss. What do you think when it comes to Philly passion and Philly fans?
It's funny when we kind of discussed this topic. For me, I referenced that my indoctrination into sports was in the mid-'70s. The Phillies lost 3 straight pennants. Reds, Dodgers. Sixers, Dr. J came to town. They lost a 2-0 lead to the Portland Trail Blazers and lost the championship in 76-77. Flyers were going for their 3rd straight hat trick. Stanley Cup, the hat trick in 76. The first year I started watching hockey. They lost in the Stanley Cup to the Canadiens. So for me, I was brought into sports at a good time, but all the teams were losing championships. So then I started getting that, oh my God, are they ever going to win type mentality? And then finally the Phillies broke through in 1980, the Sixers in 83, and then we had that long drought. So in a way, a lot of it's when you start becoming a sports fan. Like imagine your kids that started cultivating their sports love when the Phillies were in the prime, right?
Yeah.
Versus maybe a kid 10 years earlier when you had the horrible baseball during the Mike Lieberthal years.
Mike Lieby.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, my passion and knowledge became just rooting for my team to win championships when they got so close. And they often broke my heart. So the Negadelphia side of the argument can be addressed towards me. Because I do have a little skeptical view towards our teams because I've been heartbroken so many times. But I also like to think I have a knowledgeable eye to address the topics as well. So I do have that please don't break my heart again mentality, but I also believe I have the knowledge and combine those two, and it could be like a mad scientist sports mind frustration moment.
Listen, it's all love, right, Nick? Nick, it's all love.
It's all love, and you said it, Tone. You took the words out of my mouth. The level of educated and passion that this city brings to the sports teams is unmatched anywhere in this country. There's no other city that brings that.
Nope.
And you could be sitting in the 300 level, and watching the Eagles game, way up at the top, and you're looking at a play, and you're looking at a missed block by Jordan Mailata. Like who's pointing that out? What other fan bases criticizing the offensive lineman for missing the block, and that's why your guy got sacked?
And know why it happened too, right? It's crazy.
Exactly. I mean, the level of smarts in this fan base is off the charts. The level of passion is off the charts, and that could sometimes be construed as ignorance and negativity, and it's not. It's all we want to do is for our players to play hard, play smart, do the right thing, do the things that we think we would do when we're out there.
Correct.
And that's it. You do that, and you're beloved in this city forever.
Never buy a drink again.
Exactly.
And the false narratives often come out of that stereotype with our city, which I can't stand.
Oh, I know.
From all the Santa Claus nonsense.
I don't even want to. Let's not even talk about that.
Yeah.
But speaking of passion, Nicky Nuts, what do you think, man?
Nobody likes us. Nobody likes us. Nobody likes us. We don't care. It's because we don't care. We don't care what other people think. We know sports, and we're passionate about it, and we come with fire. And if you go against our team, we will annihilate you with words. We will annihilate you with words. Why? Because we are that devoted to our craft, and our craft is our sports. We live and breathe Philly, and we are hard because Philly is hard, and we are dedicated because we have a passion that is not even close to any other team. And if you ever see a Welcome to Nick's show, you'll see passion.
Yes.
Because we care. Every game matters to us. We passionately care about every single game in this season, in this city. And that goes to people thinking that we're ignorant because we're just loudmouth, no knowledge people. But when you get into a corner with them, I got news for you. We got something for you. And Tampa Bay, we got something for you, baby.
Listen, hold on to that. Hold on to that before we roll. But we got to get to this last trivia question, okay? And see, because right now nobody's got it, so we're just going to give it, okay? If anybody, any last year, everybody's stumped right here, okay? And I know what the answer to this is.
Should we ask the audience?
So we have nobody really has the answer. So what I'll say, Dan, and Jason had that Super Bowl one right away, right? So. Only one player in the history of Major League Baseball played 20 more seasons without ever being on a losing team. Who is it? He played for the New York Yankees. I throw it away. He played for the New York Yankees.
Jeter.
Yes. My ultimate idol.
Derek Jeter.
I love that. If I want to come back reincarnated as Derek Jeter. I'm just throwing it out there. And all you need to do is Google Derek Jeter and Google gift basket, and you'll understand why I want to come back as Derek Jeter. Just throwing it out there. Yep. My man is a legend. My man is a legend. He is a legend. We're going to wind this down.
My absolute idol.
So before we go to Nicky Nuts to close us out, okay, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody for listening. This is the top numbers that we've ever had on this show.
Yeah,
okay, I get to see, number one, with people that have come out, and number two, with people that have tuned in live. And my phone has been blowing up as well. So I thank every single person that has been checking in. We all do as a whole. Follow us. Do us a favor. Go to the YouTube page, Heat Ratio Sports. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. We have so much tremendous content. All these guys, these flyers, nice guys sitting right next to me, do a tremendous flyer show. Okay? We do basketball. We do wrestling. We do baseball. We do football. Okay? We have individual podcasts. We have fantasy stuff, sports betting angles, you name it. It's all there, one-stop shop. So go give us a subscription right there. And all these shows are podcasted. This will be podcasted. So check out the podcast at Heat Ratio Sports on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you, iHeartRadio, you name it, it will be on there as well. Hit the subscription button and leave a review. It takes what, like 2 seconds? Hit a little review, give us a 5-star, tell us you like us, or give us a one star. Like Nikki said, nobody likes us. We don't care. It's all good. It is what it is. We're not for everybody, which is fine, but we appreciate all the support. And thank again, once again, for Steam Pub and their hospitality here on a Tuesday night. Right? On a Tuesday night. Tremendous menu, real-time beer lift. Getting his taps on point on Twitter. Who does that on Twitter? It's amazing. It's and awesome. If you're looking for a job, come in, see Martin and Maggie. Get with them immediately if you need a job.
I want to work
right?
Here
and come work for Hero.
Of the vibe.
Yeah, well, make sure you're working on Tuesday nights, man.
You have an awesome vibe here.
The vibe.
So I like it. Just come in here and it's a cool vibe.
The ambiance.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now, come on, Nick.
So
you used that big word earlier. I'm waiting for these big, extraordinary words. But speaking of that, Nick, we're going to get out of here. But as always, it's playoff time, man. Eagles, Bucs, 1 o'clock, Sunday. Tom's going to feel the Philadelphia passion, but I want you to show everybody and let everybody in Steam Pub and online right now feel your passion and close us out with a great Eagles chant. Give us your final thoughts and give us an Eagles chant to close us out, buddy.
See, this is when we break Tom Brady's legs. We retire him.
We can't catch him, Nick.
We retire him Sunday. We retire him. He is done. He has nothing. We are going to beat him. We're going to beat him again, and we're going to beat him again. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Let's go!
Good job, Nick. Good job.